Okay, so this is probably going to be a short video, but this is going to I'm going to go over with you how I wash my pads and how I keep them soft, basically. So, I don't have my cycle for a while, so I wanted to kind of go ahead and get this video up, and I have done like a cloth diaper wash video already, so I can link that below if you actually want to see me like doing the whole process or doing like a process. Obviously this one is a little bit different because I have soft water currently and I had hard water then, so it's a little bit different. But let me get started. Okay, I always wash my cloth pads with my cloth diapers. So for me, the cloth pads and all of that kind of stuff are not an extra cycle. It's done every while I'm on my cycle. I probably wash twice, maybe 3 times. I don't know, it just depends what I feel like wearing. But I wash diapers at least twice a week, and I will wash them 3 times if I'm wanting to wash my pads. So I wash those together. So what I do is I put my diapers in there first, and then I will previously, if I need to, stain treat or stain stick or any of that kind of stuff, and they would have sat in my wet bag. So what I do is I put them in the washer, and I do a rinse because they are with my cloth diapers. So I do a short rinse, and I like to add distilled white vinegar, and I buy the huge jugs because I always add this with my diapers. I just feel that they come out cleaner and fresher with no smell if I'm adding the white vinegar. So depending on how many diapers and how many pads I'm doing, I could do up to 2 cups depending. Sometimes I put it in the chlorine bleach holder just because of the way my washer's made. So I do that, and then I do a rinse, and it incorporates the vinegar. And yes, it will smell like vinegar when you go back in there if you do it this way, because you have not washed it. You just incorporated the vinegar. And white vinegar is really good, it really helps deep clean and naturally soften. It's just really, really nice. And I like to always throw it in with my diapers. I just feel that it really gets them nice and clean. So when I go back in there to do a regular cycle, I will do a heavy wash cycle normally, and this is for softer water, not hard, because you don't want to do extended washes with hard water, because you can, especially with cloth diapers, because you can build up minerals and just makes them less absorbent and that kind of stuff. So be aware of that if you do have hard water. But when I go back in there to do the main cycle, I make sure my water's hot, because I would have just pre-washed in cold, so that should have gotten all my blood and everything out. But sometimes I will kind of dig through to check my pads just to make sure before I do a hot wash. But I like to do the hot wash really to disinfect the pads and the diapers. But when I go in there to do my main wash, I used to use Tide, but I just found that even with the recommended amount in powder, liquid, it was just kind of building up too much, and I was kind of having an issue with the diapers with repelling. So I just currently kind of make my own right now, and I'll just see if I can show you a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to kind of give you measurements on kind of what I use. I don't completely measure. Sorry, my daughter's grumpy if you hear in the background. I don't completely measure it out, but I'll give you kind of what I do. So to make this, I use about a cup of baking soda. I use half a shaved bar of Zote soap. I use 2 scoops of OxyClean, and sometimes I add a detergent booster to that. And I just find it doesn't really have any smell or anything like that. Everything comes out really clean, and it just comes out odorless, basically. And I find that I don't have any stains with my pads normally. My diapers come out really fresh and clean. and I've not had any detergent buildup and stuff like that. I know a lot of people say don't make your own detergent, don't do that kind of stuff. The stuff that's out there works better. For me, this is what works, and incorporating the vinegar into it keeps my materials and stuff like that very soft. So I like to do that. And if you're feeling like your pads need kind of a, you need to bring them back to life kind of thing, you can take warm water and some distilled white vinegar, and you can do a soak, and then you can wash. And so I add anywhere, depending on the diapers and pads, my detergent, I add 2 to 4 scoops of it, and I'm talking about, a tablespoon scoops. So that's what I add. And as far as the vinegar smell, if you're worried about that, because it's pretty gross, once you wash with a detergent, there will be no vinegar smell left. There shouldn't be, unless you just use like the whole jug. Which, now I'm going to say, if you do decide to do a vinegar soak, it can be harder to get the smell out. It may need to be washed twice. But if you even just do a soak and wash once and put it in the dryer, let it hang dry within not very long, because I've done that, the smell goes away quickly. It's not a big deal, really. It's not, unless vinegar is something that very, very much bothers you. You can't even tell once you've put detergent and you've washed it. And since I do have softer water and I am washing with cloth diapers, once my heavy wash is complete, I do a final rinse at the end. I don't always do that, but I do that if my pads, my diapers are heavily soiled. So I know you're probably like, I'm using a crazy amount of water, and I am beating up my pads pretty bad. My pads, for the most part, except for the ones I've had something on my hands or something and messed the material up, accidentally bleach face cream or something and bleached them, which is not very smart. I'm still upset about my hoo-hoo rags, but it doesn't make it any less usable. I just have a little funny spot on it now. But wow, this video is long. I'm very sorry. But that is what I do, and so far it hasn't caused any extra wearing, and it gets everything nice and clean. And I need the cloth diapers to be clean. You don't want, a barnyard smell. You don't want the ammonia stink. You don't want your child to keep getting rashes. And so adding the vinegar, doing this detergent method, and just adding a few extra rinses. And I don't always do that, but yes, when washing cloth diapers, you do need to do a first rinse, because if you're washing in water that is full of pee, do you think the diapers are going to be clean? No, they're not going to be clean, and neither are your pads. They're going to reek and be nasty. So that is my little talk and tip for today. If you'd like to kind of see that in action, let me know, and I will do that next month for you guys. So thank you for watching, and I hope you guys have had a good holiday, and have a wonderful day, evening, whenever this video goes up.